Find your way to your state of joy. And the way you do that is to be in harmony. Joy and happiness are different. Happiness is a fleeting emotion. And if you spend your life chasing happiness, you won't ever find it. But joy is a state. If we're living in a space where we're waking up and we're not feeling that joy, if we can move into a space of acceptance for what is, and then striving to do our best. I wanted to run a business helping run retreats around the world. That was not compatible with my wife. We love a comeback story. We love someone who is at the peak and tells about being in the valley. But we have a real difficult time being in the valley and sharing that we're in the valley. So the time we most need people on our side, the time we most need that support. And I think if we can talk about some of those things in the valleys, then we can truly change our lives. Our words are powerful and they manifest. There are also times where we need that help, and we need to put our trust in those that see us. Can you move into a space where you are not the victim in your divorce? One piece that I've never spoken about publicly is, my oldest attempted suicide, and he was 15, almost 16, and he sent me a text. I was at work, and he said, "You might want to come home to clean up the mess before mom finds it." And her and I were already, our relationship was a little bit rocky at the time, or pretty rocky. But we were still working together as parents, and I immediately called her and said, "Hey, we need to find him." And she ran around the house and found him hanging in the garage, unconscious. And Will was able to lift up this young man that weighed more than she did and take his noose off, even though he was hanging a couple of feet above her. And experiences like those really shift the mindset of the way we look at things. That moment for me was a real shift in saying, in this marriage, because I committed to this marriage, I committed to raise our kids in this marriage, this is not the type of relationship anymore to show my kids they can have. And that became a moment of acceptance, of realizing even greater than my duty was my responsibility to move into a space of joy and be an example to others of how they could live in joy. And my wife and I were not living in joy, to the point that it was disrupting everything about our family. I look at her now and the person she's become, and it's amazing. It's beautiful. And the person that I become is amazing and beautiful and very different. We're both very different. Like, I think so often people sit in a space of either wanting to change the past or waiting for something to happen so they can change the future. And you took the action of changing your mindset before the actions changed. And you started living in the space of being present rather than waiting for something to change in the future. If I could go back and actually live into what was happening and be present in it, we could have separated in a way where we could have still been friends and still helped our kids and moved through things a lot differently than we did, instead of having this belief that I had to let the waves just hit me and I had to stand against them because I had committed to the way that I was going to do it. Looking at your life and seeing what is, and seeing what's not fitting with the life that you want, right? We don't know how long we get after this. We don't know how long we get while we're here. Find your way to your state of joy. And the way you do that is to be in harmony